Welcome back to another video with That's Awkward ASMR. My name is Tatiana, and today I'm going to be reviewing It Takes Two. Now, this is my first review, so please bear with me. I'm very awkward in front of the camera, hence the name. So I apologize. I'm going to do my best to give you my personal thoughts. My reviews of games are not going to be super structured. It's going to be like me chatting about it. It's like we're sitting, eating a bagel, just chilling. We're just eating and chilling, you know? That's basically what we're doing today. A lot of people recommended reviews, which is really cool. Thank you for recommending video ideas. I appreciate it, and I love when you guys do that. The next game I'm going to review, well, it's kind of like the series. I want to review the Little Nightmares series as a whole because I played the second game recently on Twitch because there was no way I was whispering through that game. I actually screamed a lot, so if you want to watch that, I think the VODs are still on Twitch. If not, there's some like videos on my second YouTube channel, which you can check all that down in the description. Check it out. What was this? If you want some more reviews in this format of me sitting here like this, chatting with you about a game that I played, then let me know because I'd love to do more. I think it'd be cool. It's cool to shake up the content. With all that awkwardness out of the way, let's jump in. So I'm going to read this verbatim. It Takes Two is an action-adventure platformer developed by Hazelight Studios and published by Electronic Arts, or EA. I was kind of hesitant when I heard that EA was involved with the game until I found out they just published it, and I was like, oh good, there won't be loot boxes. They didn't develop the game. So I was kind of happy about that. Hazelight Studios, as far as I know, has made games like, what's that game called? Oh, A Way Out. It's about, I think, escaping prison. He plays these two brothers, I think. I haven't played the game. I heard it's really good, though. I heard it was so good with the co-op and how the story worked out. And this game is getting a lot of really good feedback as well. A lot of people on Twitch have been playing it. A lot of YouTube videos have been made. And a lot of people are really enjoying this game when they play it or when people watch people play it, which is really, really cool. I actually really loved it. So I'm going to start talking about the plot. Is that where we should start? Probably the plot. We should start about what it's about. The game is about a little girl who recently finds out her parents are getting divorced. She's very upset about this, and so she wishes on these two really weird little dolls she made, like replicas of her parents. You know, I don't know what signs for therapy are, but I'm pretty sure that's one of them. So she makes these two dolls and she holds them in her hands and just wishes her parents would be friends again. And then her wish kind of comes true. They like turn into these little like things she made. One is a wooden doll, one's a clay doll. And they kind of have to work together with the Book of Love, which my brother and I thought was so funny. So funny. Dr. Hakim, I think is the name of this book. She was reading like this adult love self-help book. And my brother and I were like, that is not for her. Whoa. This book kind of puts all these obstacles in the way of the parents as they basically try to figure out how to reverse this wish. It's really good. The game runs about, I'd say 10 to 15 hours. I think it took us 13 to 14 hours to play. It was quite a few streams. The VODs honestly should still be there if you want to see. We played it on Twitch because I wasn't going to make my brother whisper. He wasn't comfortable, and it's a game where you have to communicate or not communicate and just let your sibling die or whoever you're playing the game with. It was a really, really good time. I loved the level design. So now as I'm going to talk about the things I loved, we're going to tap a little bit. Again, this is my first time. If the video is off, I'm off. What I love the most about the game, I think would have to be, first of all, it's gorgeous. This game is gorgeous. There's so many different types of worlds. There's like snow levels, there's jungle type levels, fantastical, type levels, to the level where you're in a tree. Everything was just so vivid and popped off the screen. Like, I loved the way this game looked, and it was so witty in the humor of the game and quirky. And I really just loved it. I really, really loved it. My brother Max also really enjoyed it. There were even these little challenges you could do. And like, I beat him at this tug of war challenge. I'm literally going to put footage in over the review because I have a ton of footage from the Twitch streams. So I'll be probably popping that in and out. But we had a really good time, you know. It was really fun. We found that the levels were, there was never a point where we got stuck for so long that we had to look it up, which I appreciated. We took our time and we were able to each figure it out. Usually one of us would be like, oh, I think I know what we got to do, and we would communicate our way through it, which was really, really good. That there's a game that gets that co-op aspect, I feel like, perfect. They got it like perfectly, where it's not to the point where you're like you're playing Portal 2 and you're yelling at your counterpart. Like you get heated even though you're still, you know, you're chilling, but like it doesn't get to that point of that like frustration level, and it stays fun the whole time consistently. Like we were never stumped so hard that we couldn't get through a level, which was for both of us a better experience, because we really found the more we worked together and brainstormed puzzles together, the more fun it actually was. And I think that's like 100% a win when it comes to co-op games, which I've played a lot because my parents had this thing when we were kids, like you can't play single player games, you have to play co-op with your siblings. Older sibling, like I'm supposed to play and they're watching, you know. So I'm used to playing a lot of co-op games, to say the least. Another thing that I loved was the design of the levels. They flowed really, really well. We never were running back on things because we didn't know where something was. Like we were never confused about where we were supposed to go. We always knew where we were supposed to go. And there was also levels where, like, you, for example, I'm not going to really spoil it, but you can climb on trees essentially ish, kind of ride. You can ride animals sometimes, and they, depending on the animal or insect. Look, I gotta warn you, in case you're scared of arachnids, there's some in there, and I was losing my crap. I'm not even gonna put the clip in here because I can't even watch it. People were laughing in chat, and I was crying. I wasn't actually crying, but on the inside, I was crying. Just to let you know. I don't want to recommend this game, and then someone's like, oh my gosh, if you have arachnophobia, there's one level, it's very short. You gotta ride on some really hairy spiders. Just saying. My brother says they're cute, so I don't know what happened to him in the womb, but something happened. So for example, in that level, when you are riding these arachnids, they can like climb on trees and stuff, which is a really cool. I still was appreciating the aspects of this game and how they put it together. So you could like climb around bark and stuff, and the level kind of twist and turn. It was really neat. Just, I loved, like, I almost feel like you have to play it and experience it because it's just so cool how they laid these levels out, and every level is different. The music level, I think, was by far one of my favorite levels. There's probably clips of it. I loved the way that level was put together. So cool. You also got different abilities every single time the level changes. So like sometimes, like one time, if you have to fight, for example, wasps, I think they were, you would like, one of you had a honey gun thing that would like explode honey, and like the other person had like a sticky, so like one person had a thing that would light the what is it, nectar or whatever, that would like, or honey that would like explode it. It was, so you had to work together. Someone would throw the sticky like honey up there, and the other person would like blow it up with this fire thing. I think something like that. Something like that. But that's just one example. There's sometimes the levels were top down, if you were in like a place with a lot of toys, for example, and you would have different powers where someone can jump really far, someone can freeze things. It was really cool, and those powers only, or abilities only, stick with you for that level or that story part, and then it moves forward. And it was really cool. We were every time we got something new, we were like excited to see what we got next. And it was really fun. It was a really fun aspect. And the way that you use these items also have to be used together, which I found really cool. That there's not one part in this game you can run too far ahead without your counterpart, because you're gonna get stopped, because you need them. You need each other to do the entire thing, and I really loved that about the game. What else can I say? The music was really good. In all the levels that there was music that I noticed, it was really, really good. The voice acting was really well done. It's a heartfelt story. There's one part, okay, I can't even spoil it, but there's one part that like got me so tripped up. Like, I was like, that's messed up. And trust me, if you watch it or see it, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It's messed up. but it was still fun. But like there's one part in the game where I'm like, dude, the game definitely is not necessarily for children, I would say. It just had some definitely older things that for sure teenagers would find funny, but maybe for kids it might be a little much. What else can I say? I don't know, man. It ran really well on the Xbox Series X. I'm sure it runs good on everything. We didn't have any issues starting up or connecting because my brother had Friend Pass, which actually, did I mention Friend Pass? If I haven't mentioned Friend Pass, you actually only need one copy of this game. Whether your friend plays or your sibling plays, you only need one copy. You can play couch co-op, or you can actually play with the Friend Pass. If you see here, it says that all you have to do is basically get a copy of the game, whether it's a physical or a digital, and the other person can download the Friend Pass version of the game, and as long as the person who owns the game invites the person with the Friend Pass, they can play the full game. Like, he doesn't own the game, he just downloaded the Friend Pass on his Xbox. I threw my disc in and we were able to play. So I think that's a really, really good feature to have during the panny or pandemic. I call it a panny. But I think that was a good feature because some people aren't working. Some people don't have the spare money to throw at games, especially because they got more expensive. This isn't a full price game, which I was surprised at. I think for me, it was like $50, which usually would have been like $100 if it was full price. So it was like half price. So I like that. That was a really good thing. It's available again on, I don't know if I said this either, Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series X, and it came out in March of 2021. And it's a good time. Like, it's just a solid time. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's the most fun I've had in a co-op game in a really long time. Like, a really long time. And it was fun. It was a good time. So I highly recommend it. A lot of things they said about like how to deal with relationships when there's disagreements, for example, or things like that, I thought it was pretty spot on. Like, not even in like a marriage relationship or romantic relationship, like even with friendship and stuff, like learning compromise and learning to talk it out, or learning to value how someone else feels, or learning that you can't just say it's because they don't care, so I didn't care, you know, like just a lot of different lessons about relationships that I appreciated in there, just in general. So it's not like you have to be a couple to play this game. I played it with my brother and it was fine, even though we joked about it. It was just a good game, and I highly recommend it if you have a sibling who likes to play games, or like a friend or something. Even if they don't, it's just a good game to pick up and try. For difficulty level, it wasn't too hard to control. The controls were pretty simple. Learning the new machines was pretty simple, like the new mechanics when you would get a new like ability or something. It was pretty much the same like controls every time, so it wasn't too difficult. I think if someone that you would want to play with, they don't play games all the time, it might be hard at first, but I think because it's pretty much the same controls the whole time, doesn't throw anything too insane at you, I feel like they would be able to get a handle on it. So you could play this with a parent, for example, who maybe is not super into video games, or like a relative. For example, my dad could probably play it. He's sometimes with games where you look around, finds it difficult because he's used to playing with like arcade games, with like the one stick. So the two sticks often make him confused. So this is a game I think he'd actually be okay with, even though you do have to look around. I think there's even an accessibility option to auto look, so it will automatically look as well, so you could turn that on too if that's something that's difficult for someone you live with and they don't play a lot of games, but maybe they want to try it out or something. I don't know, I always think about that with games now, because I know some people in my house, like, I game a lot, my brother games a lot, my sister's kind of in the middle, and then my dad doesn't game a lot, but we're trying to get him to play more games with us. So yeah, I always think about that now, like people that you, for example, might know, who may be more comfortable playing games or may not be very comfortable playing newer games and find it intimidating, but you still want to like share that experience with them. So I actually pay a lot more attention to accessibility options, even for myself. Like when there's dyslexic writing, I find it's like so much more helpful, and more games I'm finding put that in there. I don't know if this game has it, I never checked. There is subtitle options, which I turned on. There usually always is, and there's colorblind options as well, which is really good. But I didn't notice a dyslexic like text option. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's in there, but there are a lot of accessibility options which could help out, like with the camera movement and stuff like that. So I think if I had to label this out of 10, because I know a lot of people would like number ratings, I would rate it a 9, like a 9.5. And the only reason that 5 isn't there is because of the spiders. But like, honestly, that's just me being lame. But like, of 9.5 out of 10, like, I loved this game. I recommend this game 100%. It's a really good time. It's worth the price. You only have to buy it once, and then your friend can just play it. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can play it couch co-op, you know? Awesome game. Highly recommend it. I am excited to see what else Hazelight Studios does, because it seems like they really know how to make a good co-op game, and I'm excited for their next one, because this was an absolute treat to play with my brother, and I had a really good time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more reviews, please let me know down below. I think I'm going to do one more review video to see if you guys enjoy it, because sometimes one video in a series may not be, you know, what you guys want, and then the next one you're like, oh, I get it, I like this. So I'll give it one more shot at the reviews. Let me know if you enjoy this type of video, me just chilling, chatting, doing light tapping on the game case. Next I'll be doing Little Nightmares, the series, and yeah, I think that's it. So remember to stay safe, remember to hug your loved ones, and as always, I hope that you have sweet dreams of gaming.